No stairway. Denied.
Hey guys, welcome back to Not One Videos. Last Saturday on the Crazy Crafter live stream, we had Jo Levin from Encounter Terrain, and he challenged us to a 10 by 10 challenge, and I ended up making this little stairway to heaven or sky bridge kind of thing. So if I'm going to use it as a sky bridge, I'm going to need another half. So I was thinking that this might be a perfect opportunity to show you how to make this, and I'm going to be using PIR foam. The thing about PIR foam is that it's a bit dusty to use sometimes, so I'm going to need a mask, but we're also going to have to go outside, so we'll do some filming outside, and I'm also going to show you how I installed these cool little lights. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to wear a mask just as a precaution, better safe than sorry. PIR foam comes with this silver foil which should just peel right off and you're ready to go. Anyone who has been building terrain or miniatures for tabletop games will be very familiar with XPS foam, the kind that usually comes in a pink, blue or white colour. It's pretty much the go-to material for crafters because it's nice and sturdy, takes texture really well, and you can cut it with a hot wire foam cutter. But recently I've been playing with PIR foam a lot more, especially when it comes to doing natural rock formations, etc. Unlike XPS, you cannot cut PIR foam with a hot wire foam cutter. This is because PIR is a roof insulation foam that has been designed specifically to be a heat resistant and fire resistant material. Some might see that as a disadvantage, but when it comes to carving it by hand, I think I would choose PIR foam over XPS foam. It is a lot easier to carve, which makes jobs like this staircase really easy and fast to carve. Another massive benefit to PIR foam is that you can easily brush textures into the foam. I came across this technique completely by accident and ended up getting some of the best layered rock textures that I have personally achieved. Now the obvious downside to this technique is the amount of dust, which is why a mask is essential, and also you have a bit of cleaning up to do afterwards, but it's well worth the effort in my opinion. Right, now just because I carved the staircase from PIR foam, that doesn't mean to say that this is the best material for every job. I wanted to build an extension to the staircase that lifts up into the clouds, and PIR foam would be far too brittle for a structure that delicate. So back to the XPS foam. You're far less likely to break it by knocking it or dropping it. A great little tip for cutting out shapes in XPS foam is to draw makeshift jigs onto cardboard and spray mounting them onto the foam. This is far better than trying to freehand the cuts, as the edge of the cardboard will meet the hot wire and you will end up with a much smoother edge for these kinds of cuts, and it also reduces your build time considerably. So for this set of steps, I'm going to be cutting the foam in two different directions, once for the curve of the bridge and once for the staircase. The fact that we've already carved the curve means that we no longer have a flat base to run the procs on for the next set of cuts. So another handy little tip is to place one of your previous offcuts back into its groove to use as a flat base to guide your next set of cuts. I'm giving a tip of the hat to Carl from Carl Makes Stuff for that one. Also, even if you use a cardboard jig, you might still not get a perfect cut if the hot wire moves away from the card. But gladly, XPS foam is very easy to sand with a fine grit sandpaper and also texture with the old tinfoil ball trick. So the complicated aspects of this really are behind us now. I would say that this is a really good entry level build for new crafters. I mean, the carving aspect might be a little bit tricky, but if you're careful and take your time, it is all easily achievable. Simple techniques like adding bark for additional rock textures really couldn't be any easier, and when painted up, they give a really convincing effect for rock outcroppings. Okay, let's get on with black Mod Podge. Wait a minute, no need for lots of painting footage, abracadabra, graphite grey, burnt umber overbrushing and green grey dry brushing. Bish bash bosh and you're done. Really close to finishing up this little speed build now, and we are going to add in this cool little string of LED lights. Just make sure that you glue these into the project in such a way that you can change the batteries and also hide them underneath the clouds. I'll put a link in the description below this video for anyone who would like to get some of these. These are a really handy way to add a little bit of ambience to your builds. You have to do a little overlapping and folding to get them all to fit in around the edge of the arch bridge, but when you're done it should look something like this. For the clouds I used this stuffing material from an old pillow. I was going to use cotton wool initially, but the fibres in the pillow stuffing is a bit more durable and will last a lot longer. Simply glue this in around the project, making sure to cover all the lights and the wiring. Now at this stage of the build, it really is up to you how far you take it. I'm adding a little clump foliage and grass tufts in around the top, just to make it look a little overgrown and ancient. But you could also add all sorts of moss and natural looking details down the whole staircase if that's the kind of thing that you like. And that's it, a super fast and easy build that will look great on the tabletop, especially when you place it in amongst your other scattered terrain. Before we go guys, I just want to give a shout out to all of my patrons who have been supporting me as the channel continues to grow. With a special welcome to Amy Root and Rob Fraser who have just recently joined. I appreciate all of you guys so much. I hope you've been enjoying the goofy extras that I've been posting for you guys. Lots more of that coming very soon. When someone signs up to my Dunedain tier, I dedicate a build in your name. So this week the build is dedicated to Mr. Patrick Pullen. Thank you. Your generous support is much appreciated. Okay guys, that's it for this week. I'll see you next time. Bye. Join Colin Bressy, Daniel West and myself every Saturday, 10 AM PST, that's 6 PM UK time on the Crazy Crafter livestream featuring awesome guests every week from the crafting community. Link in the description below this video.